You already know the feeling. That tightness in your chest when everything starts piling up. When your phone won't stop. When the pressure keeps building and you don't know how much more you can take. When you lie awake at night, not because you're not tired, but because your mind refuses to stop. You're not weak. You're not broken. But something isn't working. And here's what no one tells you. The problem isn't the stress. The problem is what you believe about it. 2,000 years ago, one of the most powerful men who ever lived discovered a truth so simple and so devastating that it changed the way he ruled an empire. Not with anger, not with fear, but with absolute clarity about what was worth his energy and what was not. That truth still works today. And by the end of this video, you'll understand it in a way that actually changes how you feel, not just how you think. Let's start with what's really happening inside you. Every single day, your mind is scanning for threats. It's doing what it was designed to do, protect you. But here's the problem. It cannot tell the difference between a lion chasing you through a field and an unanswered email from your boss. To your nervous system, they feel the same. Your heart rate spikes, your thoughts accelerate, your body floods with tension, and you carry that weight everywhere, into your car, your home, your relationships, your sleep. And what do most people do with that feeling? They fight it. They try to think their way out of it. They scroll through their phones hoping the noise will drown out the noise inside their heads. They stay busy, pretending that motion is the same as progress. But the anxiety doesn't leave. It just waits. Because the real source of that tension isn't what's happening around you. It's the gap between what you think should happen and what is actually happening. You think the meeting should go smoothly. It doesn't. You think people should behave reasonably. They don't. You think life should reward your effort on your timeline. It won't, at least not always. And every time reality doesn't match the picture in your head, you suffer. That's not weakness. That's the default setting of the human mind. It has been that way for thousands of years. But here's what the Stoics understood, and what most people today still haven't grasped. You are not upset by what happens to you. You are upset by your judgment about what happens to you. Read that again, slowly. Not the event, your judgment of the event. This is the core of Stoic philosophy, and it sounds simple until you really feel what it means. Think about a traffic jam. Two people are stuck in the same car on the same road, going nowhere fast. One of them is furious, clenching the wheel, cursing under their breath, feeling like their entire day is ruined. The other sits back, takes a breath, and thinks, "This is outside my control. I can use this time to think." Same situation, completely different inner experience. The traffic didn't change. The city didn't care. What changed was what each person decided the traffic meant. This is the principle Marcus Aurelius returned to again and again throughout his personal writings. He faced plagues, wars, betrayal, loss, the full weight of an empire pressing down on one man. And his answer was always the same. Some things are within our power. Some things are not. Learn the difference, and never confuse the two. He wasn't saying life is easy. He wasn't saying pain isn't real. He was saying, your emotional state is not determined by what happens outside you. It is determined by what you choose to do with what's inside you. Most people think emotional control means suppressing your feelings, pushing them down, pretending you don't care. That's not what this is. Real emotional control, the kind the Stoics practiced, is something far more powerful. It is the ability to pause between the event and your reaction, to create a small space where your reason can speak before your impulse acts. That pause is where your freedom lives. Because here's what happens without it. Something goes wrong, and your mind immediately begins a story. The story says, "This is terrible. This ruins everything. I can't handle this." And the moment you believe that story, you've already lost. You've handed your peace of mind over to something you cannot control. Think about it this way. Imagine you're holding a rope. And on the other end is everything in life you cannot change. Other people's opinions, the economy, the weather, your past, your body's aging, the decisions others make. And every time one of those things pulls, you pull back. You dig your heels in, you fight, you strain, and you exhaust yourself, completely, for nothing. Now imagine letting go of that rope, not giving up, not going numb, just releasing the end that was never yours to hold. That is what it feels like to truly apply this principle. Not passivity, clarity. You stop spending your energy on things that were never yours to change, and you redirect it entirely toward the one thing that always has been, your own mind. Let's make this more concrete. Someone criticizes you harshly, maybe a colleague, a friend, or a stranger online. Your first instinct is to defend yourself, to fire back, to feel that hot flush of anger rising. A Stoic would pause and ask one question. Is this criticism true? If it is, then it's useful. Thank it, use it, grow. If it isn't true, then why carry it? An insult you don't accept belongs entirely to the person who offered it. That's not weakness. That is an almost supernatural level of self-possession. Here's another example. You have a plan. You've worked on it, believed in it, prepared for it. And then, it falls apart. Something outside your control unravels it completely. The untrained mind collapses inward. It asks, why me? What did I do wrong? Is this a sign that I'm not meant for this? The Stoic mind asks something different. What can I control right now? What is the next right action from where I stand? Not what you wished was happening, not what you're afraid might happen next. What you can actually do, right now, with what you have. That shift seems small. It is not small. It is the difference between a person who is driven by their circumstances and a person who leads from within. And there's one more example that cuts deepest, and it's the one most people never confront. Other people. The coworker who takes credit for your work, the partner who doesn't understand you, the friend who disappeared when things got hard, the parent who never said what you needed to hear. We spend enormous amounts of emotional energy trying to control how other people think, feel, and act. We replay conversations. We rehearse arguments. We imagine confrontations in the shower at 2 in the morning. And none of it changes a single thing about them. Other people's choices are not within your power. They never were. The Stoics were ruthlessly clear about this, not because people don't matter, but because your peace cannot be held hostage by someone else's behavior. You can love someone and still not let their chaos become your chaos. You can care deeply and still not carry what was never yours to carry. That boundary between what is yours and what is not is where emotional control is actually built. So how do you actually use this? Not just as an idea, but in the middle of a hard day when everything is pressing in on you. Here is a simple practice, drawn from the heart of Stoic discipline. When something upsets you, anything, big or small, stop. Before you react, before you speak, before you spiral, just stop. Ask yourself, is this within my control? If the answer is yes, then act. Do the thing. Make the call. Have the conversation. Take the step. Move. If the answer is no, and it will be no more often than you expect, then there is only one rational response. Release it. Not forever, not violently, not with fake peace. Just consciously release the need for it to be different than it is. Then redirect. Ask, given what is actually happening right now, what can I do? Not what you wish you could do, not what you're afraid you can't do, what you actually can. This practice, done consistently, rewires something deep in how you experience daily life. The storms don't disappear, but they stop feeling like the end of everything, because you've built something inside yourself that the storms cannot reach. Call it inner ground, call it stillness, Call it clarity. Whatever you name it, it is there, and it is yours, and it cannot be taken from you. The Stoics called it the inner citadel, the one place no event, no person, no failure, no tragedy can breach, as long as you protect it with awareness and intention. Most people spend their entire lives waiting for things to calm down, waiting for people to change, waiting for life to become easier before they allow themselves to feel okay. That day rarely comes, but this moment, this one, right now, is completely within your reach. You don't need perfect circumstances to feel grounded. You need a different relationship with your own mind. You need to understand, at a level deeper than thought, that what happens outside you is not what defines you. What defines you is how you respond. Not perfectly, not robotically, but consciously, deliberately, with the quiet power of someone who has decided that their inner world is not for sale. The great wisdom that has endured for thousands of years is not a collection of philosophical theories. It is a practice, a daily, ongoing, sometimes difficult practice of catching your own mind before it runs away and bringing it back to what is real, what is now, and what is yours. You feel it in your chest, that weight, that tension, that fear. Now you know where it comes from. And more importantly, you know you have a choice. Not a choice about what life throws at you, but a choice about what you do next. That choice has always been yours. It still is.